I have a cornea disease called keratoconus. It's when the corneas become oddly shaved, vision becomes blurry and distorted, and the eyes are sensitive to light due to the thinning tissue. This Wikipedia description is pretty accurate. I have all these symptoms: nearsightedness, double vision, and my eyes are sensitive to light. I had a cornea transplant in my right eye about 2.5 years ago. Having that cornea transplant was the worst thing I went through in my life so far. It took over 2 years for my eye to heal and my vision to become stable. I had to give up driving, and the last day I drove my car was the day before my transplant. My vision started to change in my early 20s, and there have been several years where I haven't been able to pick up a camera. Currently, I see 2200 in one eye and 2125 in the other with squirrel contact lenses. I'm hoping to ride my bike safely and be able to skateboard again. With keratoconus, my vision fluctuates. I've noticed times where my vision has gotten worse just from 2 weeks before. I switched to a 50-inch TV for my computer monitor, and it's changed my life. I started photography 20 years ago with my parents' Canon AE1. All my current cameras have manual focus lenses: Hasselblad 500cm, Nikon F3, Leica M10R, and Nikon Z6. The Hasselblad 500cm is a medium format film camera. The film is several times larger than 35mm film. This has a large split focus viewfinder that makes it easy to focus for someone that has bad vision. The camera has detachable film backs, making it easier to swap or reload your film. I don't photograph with film anymore, and sadly this camera is not getting used. The Nikon F3 has the same type of split focus viewfinder as the Hasselblad. In the center, the image is split and is in focus when the image is aligned. I don't have any photos from this camera yet. I bought it to finish off the film that I have. The Leica M10R is a digital rangefinder camera. Inside the optical viewfinder, you see frame lines. Everything inside the lines is your image, and everything outside is your environment. You can see what will be moving into your frame before you take a picture. To focus, you see a box that splits the image differently than the split focus viewfinder on an SLR camera. The box shows a ghosting-like double vision effect. As the lens moves closer to focusing, the double vision goes away, lining up the focus. I have 3 ways to focus on this camera: the electronic viewfinder, the rangefinder, and the screen on the back. This is the easiest way for me to manual focus, is using the rangefinder. To practice, sometimes I'll have my camera while I'm watching a movie and use the rangefinder for speed and accuracy. And at last, the Nikon Z6. This is Nikon's first mirrorless camera and my first full-frame camera. With modern digital cameras, they have a focus assistance called focus peaking. I set my color to red as the easiest for me to see. Once I start to focus, the red highlight area starts to appear. I want to make sure that the eyes are in focus along with the face. I use f4 and f5.6. I'm always punching in for critical focus. Really shallow depth of field is a pet peeve of mine. I hate seeing a sliver of something in focus and the rest of the image is out of focus in the background. I like to see more detail in my photos. Shooting at a higher f-stop number, which is closing down the lens, gives you more focus range and a better chance of getting something in focus if it moves. With all manual focus lenses, I pre-focus to what I think the distance is and adjust from there. I recommend watching Alan Shaller's video on manual focusing. He can explain it better than I can. I see a lot of videos on YouTube about people complaining about autofocus on cameras. If this is the only way you know how to use a camera, you need to go back to school or take a beginner photography class. Autofocus is a convenience. Look back 40, 50, 60 years and more and look at all the amazing photographs taken in sports, journalism, and documentary photography. These are all used on film cameras with no autofocus. Grant Britton, legendary skateboard photographer in the 80s, took iconic photos of Tony Hawk and other skaters on manual focus film cameras. Alan Shaller, amazing black and white photographer, as you can see, uses a black and white Leica rangefinder camera with no autofocus. If you would like to support my new channel, please like and subscribe.